guys look wonderful. Okay, I guess that's what you guys feel about yourselves. That's on you. A little about me. I just got off work. I took the day off. I work at a rehab, and one of the perks of working at a rehab is like free rehab. So I'll be like gone next week, possibly the week afterwards. It really depends on the diagnosis. It's kind of law there. You know what I mean? No, you guys haven't been there? Okay. One of the other perks of working at a rehab is actually Percocets, because like I get to take the Percocets from the patients when they come in with their drugs. You're looking at me right now. You're just like, oh my goodness. After Alexa.
So calm.
That's where you should be. You should be calm. I think Alexa did great. Shout out Alexa. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're here. Happy Father's Day Eve. I'm actually sober now. I don't actually take Percocets. I just want everyone to know I don't take Percocets. I'm sober, and like getting sober is a journey. And it turns out it just kind of ruins your sleep schedule. Like every time I've been like getting sober and I talk to sober people, like, meetings and stuff, they go like, oh, like I just woke up at like 5 a.m. I just like couldn't fall back asleep. Now I'm just super tired. Who's never really had that problem though? Drug addicts. Drug addicts have never had that problem because they're up at 5 a.m. doing drugs and they go to sleep at like 6 a.m. That's a time joke for you guys. I don't know how. I'll be explaining a lot of my jokes tonight. I can feel it. What else about sobriety? When you're quitting a lot of stuff, you have to like use one addiction to cure the other addiction. You know what I mean? Like you have to use. Like when I was quitting weed, I would drink very excessively, and I would wake up at like 5 a.m. to drink because my sleep schedule was all fucked up from weed. They don't tell you that 5 a.m. is the best time to drink. They really don't. Who'd laugh at that? Thank you so much for laughing at that. That's a funny thing you can laugh at. I'll explain why. Because like you get to watch the morning news. The morning news is the best. It's two things. It's traffic and it's weather, and neither of those things really apply to me because, well, the sun isn't up and I'm too drunk to operate a motor vehicle. So, yeah, I just kind of sit there and I'm just like, oh man, they're always talking about that buildup from Bellevue to Tacoma, or like Everett to Tacoma. Who's driving from Everett to Tacoma every single day? Someone is. Yeah, you guys don't watch the morning news. You don't know. You're not out drinking at 5 a.m. You don't know. That's when the real soldiers come out, Sorry, I won't disrespect the troops like that. What else? My parents. My mom just turned, she just turned 69. No pun intended. No pun intended. No, not nice. She's aging, and time is a cruel mistress. But she turned 69, and I went to kiss her on the cheek. Right? She accidentally turned, and we accidentally kissed on the lips. And yeah, and then my mom went to win like 7 Super Bowls, and she became an Uggs model. Oh, I got you. Hell yeah. No, here's the thing. Tom Brady kisses his kids. He's an Uggs model. He won 7 Super Bowls. My mom doesn't do that. She just accidentally kissed me on the lips. Yeah, we still talk about it at Christmas sometimes. That's a lie. She's Jewish, so. I don't know if it's obvious. I'm a Jewish person by like genetics. I'm not really culturally Jewish. My mom likes to pretend she is. Like she'll light candles and be like, look, it's Shabbat candles. I'm like, you just lit a candle. You don't know. Like, all right, I'll get off the religious train. My mom is an ice skater. Not by like profession, but by hobby. There's no like 60-year-old ice skaters. That'd be crazy, right? That'd be absolutely insane if you had like somebody who's doing like triple axels at age 70. That doesn't exist. There'd be a lot of skin flapping around that, But my mom, she fell and she cracked her shoulder, and like, yeah, I know. I've been having to help her like grocery shop and stuff. And she's all like, oh, I can't wait to get back on the ice. And it's like, yeah, exactly. You're not getting back on the ice. You probably shouldn't have been on the ice in the first place. Yeah. It's kind of like when your grandpa at Thanksgiving is like, let's go play football. I'll be linebacker. And you're like, Grandpa, you're not even going to be referee. You're going to be watching the turkey cook. You're going to be mashing potatoes, you know? Okay, I guess you guys don't fuck with your grandpas like that. You don't play football with your grandpa to like ease the dementia. You gotta keep the brain youthful, otherwise it kind of rots. Okay, I see I'm making people sad. What was I gonna talk about? I've been figuring myself out, you know? Like I thought I was asexual for a while. And it turns out it was just erectile dysfunction. Every time that joke gets like a little bit of a reaction, I get like a little bit of a chub, but I can't really hold it. Yeah, see, it's gone. This side of the room killed it. You guys are keeping it up a little bit, but like it's gone. No, I am medicated. I'm on a controlled substance. It's called Adderall. I get 30 pills for a month. Yeah, I don't know if anyone's doing the math, but there are some months with the 31st. Exactly, it makes it difficult. It makes it very difficult. You know why? Because my psychiatrist doesn't account for spillage. You know, like if a baker will give you like a baker's dozen, my psychiatrist should give me like 32 pills because if I drop one, I'm unmedicated for a day. Today. I'm unmedicated today, guys. Like, I don't know if it's, I'm on Percocets, I'm unmedicated, you know. I'm falling apart. You gave a look for just, you're just like, oh, my brother's on Percocets. Like, I don't know you. I don't know if your brother's on Percocets. Where else am I going? Dad. We gotta talk about dad. I'm gonna keep talking about mom first, because my mom, well, okay, so both my parents have autism. You know, it's kind of impossible that they found each other, you know, because they're very antisocial people. And my mom's a narc because of it. She loves following rules. Rules to autistic people are kind of like crack to a crack addict. They would suck a dick for a new rule. And if I have to have that thought, then like you're gonna have to have that thought. And I'm sorry about that, but look. So I was bagging the groceries, right? Because I was helping my mom, and she goes like, Jason, did you pay for the bags? I'm like, no, I didn't pay for the bags. Of course I didn't pay for the bags. She goes like, Jason, you need to pay for the bags. You have 3 bags right there. That's 8 cents a bag. That's 24 cents a bag. Because, you know, she's good with numbers. And then finally I'm like, Mom, I'm not paying for the bags. Like, you're kind of cramping my style right now. And the person from self-checkout comes over and they go like, excuse me, sir. And I'm like, oh God. And they go, there's a line for me. You got to get moving. And I'm like, see, Mom, like the person that's supposed to care doesn't care. And she's like, that's 32 cents worth of bags now. You need to pay for the bags because I double bag and I added another bag. That was a math joke. Don't worry. I'm moving very fast. The math isn't crunching out. Whew. Time to talk about my dad. So my dad has a PhD in physics. Yeah, he works for Boeing. He's a mathematician for Boeing. So I'm sorry about all the crashes. I'm very sorry about all the doors flying open. That's my B, or his B, you know. No, it's not. It's a team effort. Man, I wrote all my dad jokes today, so like here's the thing about my dad, right? Like, he has his own rules too, you know, like okay, so when we go to a Chinese restaurant, or any Asian restaurant for that matter, he cannot eat without chopsticks. It's because it's part of the experience. I've seen him let food go cold, is what I'm trying to say. Like, basically what happens is he goes, like, we order, like, oh, can I get a side of rice? And can we get some chopsticks for the table, right? Like, that's very common request at Asian restaurants. But because they're in a busy dinner shift, they forget. And then my dad gets the food, and halfway through, the person comes over and is like, how's the meal? My dad goes like, we ordered chopsticks. Could you get us some chopsticks, please? Look, you guys are loving this, I can tell. But the point is that I've eaten a lot of half cold Chinese food because my dad is he likes his chopsticks. Okay. If you want to know more about my dad's thought process, he let me hold a gun when I was 5 years old. Not just like a rifle, not a hunting rifle, like a full-on revolver. You know, he let me hold it like a 40-year-old that had nothing left, you know, like. And I don't know why he let me hold it either, you know, like. And I asked him about it a few days ago, and he goes like, I forgot about that entire thing. And I was like, you shouldn't forget about that, because like that's like rule 1 of like gun ownership. Is like rule 1, don't give it to children. Rule 2, make sure it's not loaded. It's before the make sure it's not loaded rule. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go to the card on this one. I had some more things I wanted to talk about my dad. Hang on. Oh, his fucking dad jokes. That's the thing. Here's the thing about my dad's jokes. They don't make sense. Like yesterday was Friday the 13th, right? And he was like, oh, it's Darth Vader's birthday. He's always said that. Don't laugh at that. It doesn't make sense because sometimes Friday the 13th happens like multiple times a year, you know? It depends on the year. He also, this is his favorite joke, and it pisses me off to no end. He goes, what's the difference between a duck? Exactly. It's not a full sentence. Your response was very valid. You should have sat there in silence because it doesn't make sense. I go like, what's the difference between a duck and what? He's like, exactly. And I'm like, no, you don't get to say exactly for that. You know? I guess when it comes to the end of like my dad jokes, I got a couple notes. One, if I have to think this, you have to think this. Your mom's probably the best pussy he's ever gotten. I'm not gonna lie. And again, if I have to think about it, you have to think about it, because I know that's probably not the best dick that your mom's ever gotten. That was on vacation. My dad wears anime shirts a lot. He used to pick me up from school wearing like anime girls shirts and like wearing toe shoes. And I just had to sit there and be like, that's my dad, everybody. He's walking around with like titties out, like animated titties. I know, I'm surprised the school never said anything. I'm surprised the school never said a single thing about it. Look, my dad always said, when you're older, it will make sense to you. But like now that I'm older, my therapist doesn't even understand it, what he was saying. That's kind of my dad's humor. I am a good person. Just kidding, I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person when it comes to candy. I am an awful person when it comes to candy. I'm a murderer when it comes to candy. And then I'm such a piece of shit because I do this almost every night now. Because comedy kind of makes you like, once you do well in comedy, like on a night you'll be like, yes, and now I can eat candy. Look, let me tell you, it's like gambling. It's like you keep winning, you want the win, you want the high. But anyways, I buy this bag of candy. It's full of airheads, and it's like the size of like a Halloween, right? Or something you give for like a kid's birthday party when you're like making the goodie bags, you know? So I eat all of that, and then I look myself in the mirror and I'm like, why did you do that? How are you this fat? And then I have to look myself in the eye and be like, Jason, you know why you're this fat. You just ate 40 airheads. It doesn't matter that they're mini airheads. Like, you still ate 40 airheads. I am a good person, I promise. I'm broke though. I'm really broke right now. I'm so broke that I owe unemployment money. That was supposed to get a laugh, okay? No, like I owe unemployment money, and I don't know what to do about it because I called them and they were like, oh, you need to write a letter and bring it in. And I'm like, not even mail it? And they're like, no, like bring it in. And I was like, this sort of seems like it's outdated just a little bit. Like, I'm not Paul Revere. I'm not gonna write you a letter. Okay, I see that the pussy joke about my dad getting pussy kind of stops you guys there. Look, if I seem nervous right now, I promise you I can be a lot more nervous looking. I'm a back sweater. And when I'm in a crowd of people, like at a concert or something, people do this thing where they like sidestep around me. They put their hand around my back, right? But when they put their hand on my back, I know it's like a new memory for them because it's really wet. All right, my name is Jason Katz. Thank you guys for coming out.